Hey, how's it going, everyone? So today I was going to give my impressions on the upcoming new operator, Saya. So Saya is basically a flag-holding vanguard, very similar to Elysium and Myrtle. And though I'm an enthusiastic user of flag-holding vanguard units, after going through Saya's skills, talents, and just doing some maths on her, I have to say that I'm just not impressed with her, and the operator just falls flat on my expectations. Now, the core issue with Saya is that she's designed to be more active in combat than other vanguards, but the fact is you really just never leave vanguards on the field, and this just creates a very unsynergistic effect overall. So firstly, judging her stats, they are quite horrific, but this is kind of expected for a flag-holding vanguard unit, so I'm not really too offended by it. But when I read the talents is when I started getting concerned. So her first talent, Unwavering Banner, basically gives an attack speed buff to surrounding allies and slightly debuffs the attack speed of surrounding enemies. Now first off, attack speed buffs are among some of the worst in the game, just for a variety of mathematical reasons that I don't really plan to get into in this video. But more so, what's problematic about this talent is that it's incentivizing doctors to keep this operator on the field, even though it's like a crappy low stat vanguard unit. The talent and the class archetype are just operating at different wavelengths here. Her second talent basically saves you 2 deployment points once you place her for your next operator. This is really just a worse version of Texas talent that she gets at E2, since Texas can apply her plus 2 DP buff at the start of the map. It's a lot more useful. So her skill 1 is just a lazy copy-paste job of Elysium skill 1, but it probably is her best ability. That said, Elysium still does slightly outpace her. So the value of DP generation of this game can be modeled logarithmically through this equation. And since they just opted for a lazy copy-paste job, both abilities contain the same values, and the only difference is the cost of the operators. Saya has 1 more deployment point cost than Elysium. So plugging in those numbers, we get these 2 equations. Plotting these 2 equations, we do indeed see that Elysium outpaces Saya in terms of value. So basically, Elysium is better, but honestly the difference is pretty neglectable. And honestly, I don't know what to make of this overall. I feel like they just screwed up her DP costs on release. And I don't really know why they went out of their way to make a whole new operator instead of just gender bending in Elysium. Especially considering their next 2 abilities are really terrible. So Salia's skill 2 is just very niche and probably never needed, I would say. So what it does is it gives 10% defense and 10% healing ability to 1 ally in range of her, and also generates 20 DP, though you'd probably use skill 1 if you just want DP. And the thing is 10% is just a really, really low number mathematically, okay? The way you have to think about it is that it's 1/10 of 100%. Take another operator, Sora, as a comparative example. Sora's skill 1, Song of Slumber, gives healing of 45%. Now that number is bigger than 10%, in fact it's 4.5 times bigger. Not only that, but Sora heals all allies in range, whereas Saya just heals 1. So next is her skill 3, which is even worse than skill 2 by my estimations. So she basically throws her dorky banner thing. It does like dick all for damage. It gives you only 10 DP. It stuns the enemy for a couple seconds, and then it weakens them as well to incoming attacks. Now, I will just say I hate when video games give such verbiage vomit on describing abilities, and this is no exception here. There's just like 10 different things going on at once with this ability, and some may think that makes it good, but it's not necessarily the case. So first off, getting 10 DP, well, you can just use Siege and get 12 DP instead. Stunning enemies is done a lot better by other operators like Project Red or W. And then the slow and weakening part is just way outclassed by Suzerain, just in terms of numbers, it's not even close. So ultimately, Saya is kind of a jack of all trades, master of none sort of operator. And in this game, you really want every deployed operator to be out on the field for a specialized task. That said, I plan to summon myself a Saya so I can replace my Elysium since I hate men.